on this edition of Let's Talk Battle Rap podcast, brought to you by the Gotham Podcast Studio Network. We are here doing our first ever not live, but fresh recap, because we always wait 24 to 48, 72 hours, because we normally buy these events, pay-per-view, VOD. We get the full reaction, and then we let it sink in, simmer down, we let our brains rest,
watch things,
get the game tapes again, and then we recap. But this is the first time we're recapping the event fresh, 12 hours after the event.
Oh, my goodness, man. First of all, we got actually, we usually have our guest on the phone. This time he's actually in studio, so my man Bad Money,
Finally
man.
made it to the studio.
Finally made it to the studio. You out New York, as they say, man. How'd it feel to be in the building, man? Talk to us, brother.
All right, first off, I'm going to shout you guys out because y'all New York hospitality up here that y'all shown to me since I got here on Friday has been amazing, and this has been a hell of an experience. From Friday to Saturday, in the building is just like crazy.
Oh, man.
Can't even begin to describe it.
We don't ever really do food shows with our battle rap, but it's 12 in the afternoon, so we have some breakfast here, some brunch and battle rap, breakfast and battle rap, right?
Facts, man.
The brunch
club. The brunch club.
Program review. We bought our tickets May 4th, right?
May 5th, man, the day of the event. Yeah.
We bought it at Pearly Gates 2 with the anticipation, like we had to be there in the building.
I got mine like last minute. I think it was like early August.
And I think it's safe to say the event delivered.
Absolutely, man. I wasn't mad that I spent that bread, man. I was not mad at all.
Me either.
The only thing, man, is wow.
The event was so good, it's worth almost buying the ticket and the VOD. Right?
It's so man, where do we even begin with this one, bro?
Do we start with the meat and potatoes?
Or do we save it?
I think we just get out the way, right? Because that's what everybody wants. That's what everybody's pretty much talking about.
That's what they're here for, right?
That's what everybody's here for. So, the Murda Mook and the Verb battle. First, man, this is Murda Mook's return in 4 years. Legendary stuff. The whole world was watching. So many celebrities and rappers.
The Game,
Eminem, Jadakiss, Alchemist,
Wyclef. It was lit, man.
LL Cool J.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Did you see that
the
too?
Overlordian. He was watching that joint, man.
Yeah, the people...
From what D-Rec told us outside, Gwyneth Paltrow probably was watching.
Everybody was watching.
The people that purchased the pay-per-view for this, I was mind-blown for it. And they did the smartest thing by putting this battle on super early. Get the energy of it. Make the people that bought the pay-per-view, the celebrities, not wait the entire night for it. And I do see after the battle, the building kind of flushed out a little bit, but I mean after a battle like that, it's hard to entertain. And at least two or three battles after that kind of met some energy level. So, Murda Mook and Verb, we called it in our analysis. Murda Mook was gonna go first, and his first round was gonna be straight punchlines. How do you guys feel about Murda Mook's first round?
Man, Murda Mook's first round, I knew it was gonna be punch heavy. And now, first of all, we got to let you know this disclaimer. We haven't been able to watch the VOD. This is all fresh from...
Oh, I hit the game tapes.
Oh, you got a chance to hit the game tapes?
I hit the game tapes.
For the whole kit and caboodle?
Yeah.
I only watched
hit the game tapes when I get back to Philly.
I watched the second a couple times, you know what I mean? But from just being in the building, I knew he was going to come punch heavy. I was happy with his first round. I thought it was dope. I definitely thought it was beatable when it was done, though. You know what I mean? He definitely had the crowd hyped up. We were all turned up, ready to see his return. It wasn't like anything fell flat. It was hitting, but I just knew that the door was left open for Verb to absolutely take that round from him, which was a little surprising for me. I thought the punches were going to be a little bit harder. Definitely got to see it again so I can catch every single bar, every single lyric, because I don't want to leave that out. But just going from in the building, I remember that's how I felt about the first round.
I'm grateful I got to hit the game tapes, but I'll talk about my in-building feeling in the game tapes afterwards, right? We predicted Mook to win, so we're going to keep the same energy, right?
Yeah.
And we said in the first round, he's going to come out punching. He's going to go first. Fuck a coin toss. He's going to go first, which he did because he thought him in New York, he had everything behind him where he can set a bar that Verb couldn't meet.
Right.
And in the first round, everything Mook was saying was just landing, but he had that first round aura of welcome back to battle rap. So a lot of lines could easily sound much better than they really were. And I say nothing was bad, but
you know what it is too? I think with us being such seasoned battle rap watchers, we knew this. So it's like watching it. Yeah, I'm still caught up in the aura and the first round and the presence, and I'm hyped up. But I knew to keep a little spot in my brain to just like tune out all of that and just listen to the lyrics. That's why I knew the door was left open for Verb to take that first
Absolutely, because the first half of Mook's round was actually it was good. Honestly, it was really good. And I didn't really like the physicality of Mook. Like
it's a lot.
Like
it was a lot.
It was a lot of physicality. Like, and
it wasn't nothing to me that we don't see in everyday battle rap.
What?
Here's the thing.
It was a lot.
Here's the thing, right? It was a lot of poking, a lot of in the face rapping, screaming, and that's okay because Verb was ready to take it. He put his fitted backwards and it was ready to accept the electric energy, and that's what made the environment even more tough. Like Verb was like, all right, I'll take it, let's go.
But it was a lot of shoving too. It wasn't just
there was a lot of shoving,
yeah.
and when Verb would poke and shove back, it's as if Mook had a problem with it.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, if you're gonna bring that energy, you gotta accept it as well. I'm okay with that. As long as both of you guys are taking it at the same level.
I think
pause, right? Pause, right?
Hit the pause button because
listen,
I don't know what round it was. Mook had a pause bar, and he looked directly at me and was like, that was crazy, wasn't it? And he looked right at me.
That's at the press conference.
That was the press conference.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, man. But go ahead though. Continue, my brother.
The aura, the feel, the energy. We was around a little bit of stands as well. You know, it's cool and it's fine. They came from Murda Mook.
They paid their bread.
Listen, the casuals came from Murda Mook, so you have to expect some people to overly rate these things, right? And let's get it clear before we even continue with the analysis and break down this battle. If you're a true battle rap analyst and fan, you'll know this battle was close.
Yeah.
You can say one person won without discrediting the other, but both of them displayed greatness and they lived to the expectation. So we're not even going to do none of this. Mook was overrated. Verb was this and that. We're not doing none of that. Right. So we're going to just cut the fat out there already. Before I hit the lines, when I hit the game tape money, what was your first reaction to it all?
You see, I just got the press conference and the event mixed up. You know what I mean? It's been a wild weekend. You know, we were a part of a lot of things and all of that. But Mook lived up to the expectations. You know what I mean? We got what we wanted to see from Mook, but I side with V when I say that I was listening to his whole first round, you know, and thinking like, all right, this still is beatable. You know, so I wasn't taking nothing away from him because I loved it, you know, and I'm just like, all right, Verb can still take this.
Mook looked really human because after the scuffle, he lost momentum, right?
A little bit.
Somewhat, but I think
not saying he was
that
flustered.
guy that's always on the side of Mook,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's always in the background. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
on stage.
starting to laugh at him.
It was him. It was more so him more than Mook. Like when the scuffle and stuff like that, I think Mook was more so handling it professionally on stage with Verb. Like, he didn't get crazy with Verb himself, but when Verb was pushing him back and stuff like that, Mook didn't get too extra. It was like once the entourage, you know what I mean, this one particular guy, then followed up by a couple other people. You know what I mean? It kind of went crazy, but I think Mook handled that, you know what I mean, and he got right back into it. I don't think, like, it necessarily took too much momentum, but it was a little bit of difference because he had to kind of, like, keep, you know, in his mind, like, all right, maybe I do need to chill out with the pushing a little bit.
When you go back, right, so I'm talking now from the game tape aspects. When you go back to listen to Mook's first round, you'll realize it's more scheming than punching within the round.
Right.
And it's almost as if he kind of like, you know, I'm going to modernize my stuff. I'm going to scheme, where at the end of the scheme breaks down with, like, you know, the word breakdown. For, like, example, when he broke down the chastity belt, Chaz D belt, right? So he did a lot of those, a lot of little PG stepping lines, right? But
he kind of like adapted to the modern era of what we see as battle rap that's out here now a little bit in a Mook way.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? He looked like a veteran up there. Like, he looked like Murda Mook, but still in all, I'm thinking Mook's first round is beatable, and then Verb.
You guys remember any of your favorite lines from the first round?
I don't even remember, bro.
Man.
I just remember the feeling pause, but I don't remember lines like that. But
wow.
What about you, player?
Well, before I watched one of my favorite lines was the Sprint store line. He's like, you going to jail and you don't know what you in for. You can't get the call. You run to the Sprint store. And then he was like, "Your man's get down, copy 10-4. That shit was fire.
Oh yeah.
The rhyme pattern on that shit was fire. And then when I hit the game takes back, I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of lines where it's just like he's scheming and the rhyming is good, but you actually realize that the punch he's actually he's not a punch heavy line, a punch heavy round. It's more of a scheme heavy round. That's why we're so open, because like the haymakers were just the crowd So excited to see Mook again.
Amped up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so anything that was good, they turned it into great.
Yeah, even better, yeah.
But the flip side of that as well is that anything Mook, Verb said was good, sounded great.
Crazy, yeah.
It's going to sound better because it's going against the greatest.
So, like, people have to stop the gas angle. Oh, Mook is gas, Verb's gas. Because anything Mook could say that's overly acknowledged or overly cheered for or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever word you want to use. I couldn't think of a proper word for it. But any bar that was overly cheered for with Mook being said, any bar against Mook was overly cheered for as well. So you got to take the catch-22 on that side.
And to be fair, also for those that weren't in the building, the crowd was not biased. I mean, Mook
surprisingly,
Mook had a super entourage. Man, his entourage game is crazy.
That was about it. And a guy by France, the whole time.
Oh yeah.
But we're not even gonna acknowledge him.
But as far as just the general audience, who just the battle rap fans, non-entourage, everyone was just there to see an amazing battle.
Facts.
You could have your personal pick, you could have your personal favorite, but no one was there ready to boo. No, there was no hidden agenda. There wasn't a pack of guys ready to boo Verb or anything like that. It was a fair crowd from the gate, and once Mook was done, everyone was ready for Verb to hit that stage, and the crowd was ready to erupt. Man.
I did love the Mook line. Since you became vegan, it's ironic they put you in front of the goat.
Did they in front of the goal? Yeah.
That was so a lot of Mook's punches were like that. They weren't like similes. Mm-hmm. They were just like little references and
all interconnected joints, man.
In the first, was that when he said, "Why is it when you do your Showtime like?" You ain't a real vegan. Something like you say.
He said, why on your Showtime you left the beef brew?
Was that the first round?
That was the first round.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was my first. That's what I can say. I can remember from the first round. Like one of my biggest takeaways from it because it's true. Mm-hmm. Vegan Verb let the beef brew. Like it's a good point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
It was hilarious.
The window was open, right?
Yeah.
Mook's first half of his round was fire. Honestly, in the second round, kind of fell a little more flat. So when that happened, we finally got to see what it's like to see like an immortal Mook, right? Immortal Mook.
Immortal Mook, yeah.
Immortal Mook. Where it's like, you got to think in the last 10 years, his last 3 battles, nobody put the pressure on him.
At all.
At any moment, nobody put blood in his mouth. Mm-hmm. Verb's first round. And you know what? There's a lot of times I caught on to Verb. He wasn't rhyming.
Say word.
No, because the beginning, right? He was like, when he opened up the intro, obviously he said, "What can I say to the great Murda Mook?" And then he was like, "He's the rapper that gave us chills then. But he's the reason why we're held back still." Like he didn't say still then.
There, yeah.
Yeah, or no, he didn't rhyme it. Chillin' still rhymed, but like he didn't complete the rhyme of the 4-bar
He
setup.
didn't connect it later on?
No, not even.
Okay,
So there's a lot of bars like that where he's just like, it's so potent and direct towards Mook. And it's so real and personal that Calico,
real, you ain't gotta
rhyme.
Right.
So there's a lot of moments he didn't rhyme, and the crowd just felt it because it was so direct and piercing. Mook, he opened it up like that, and the crowd was like, "Okay, you caught my attention. What has Mook done that keeps it still being held back?" And Verb landed an angle in the first round. I thought he was gonna save that for later rounds, but that was effective to land it out early.
When he landed that, the first big haymaker of his round was, you got a podcast and you ain't bring none of us on it.
No, he said, I remember this line clearly. He said, "You're not one of us. You had a podcast. Who'd you bring on? Not one of us." That was fire.
That was dope. That definitely connected with the crowd, and that was the first haymaker that he definitely landed after he's been leading up with that angle, man. And it's funny because me, like a lot of times I'll think of things critically a whole lot, and then I'll go, well, you're basically bigging up Mook for making a bunch of moves and stuff like that, not helping to bring you guys up. You know what I'm saying? Which was like dating back to the press conference when Verb was like, "I pull up." Mook was like, "No, you don't get pulled up.
You got pulled up here.
Yeah. Somebody got to pull you up here." But I was able to separate it and go, you know what? If I'm just listening to it just from the content, fuck what I think about, that Mook actually has things going on. This bar is fucking fire. And if he continues on this path right here, which he did with a crazy pace, I was like, this is going to get crazy right here.
I remember, it's crazy. Even before hitting against, I remember some of these vividly. Like, Verb dissected Mook so great in the first round. Like, he dissected him like for not helping back the culture. His resume, his stains in battle rap, things that he's done, his legacy. He literally said in the first round, the beginning, fuck your legacy. And so when he told Murda Mook, you had hot iron loaded and ain't kill nothing. That was so fire. Like that couldn't have been said any more perfect.
That's crazy.
Literally took down your resume for the last 10 years, and in all 3 of those battles, not one moment in any of those battles was the pressure back on Mook.
All right. So let me go back and refer to the playbook. And I told you guys, like, this is an angle that Verb might take. Okay, this is the great Murda Mook, the king of battle rap, and that. He's done so much for battle rap, and he's sitting back and looking at the kingdom. And Verb's approach was more so like, okay, like I said, he's one of the people, from the village that works hard to, maintain the kingdom and keep the kingdom afloat, you know what I mean, and running and stuff like that. And the king is just sitting up here not helping us, so he had to break that down. And that's something that I saw Verb do, in the first round. And he threw the do-rag in the crowd.
Yeah,
he pulled the do-rag out. Jay Black has the do-rag. He said he's selling it.
Say what? Yo,
and, V made a good point while we were there. He said, yo, he should have took Mook's do-rag off.
Facts, man.
That would have been.
Listen. Verb took a lot of physicality in that first round.
Yeah.
Mook was shoving him with both hands.
Putting his finger all in his face.
Pushing his hat all around. Damn near tossing him into people in the back.
But the do-rag on is so tight, so to grab of somebody's do-rag, there's so much force.
But it would have been dope, like, if he would have walked up the... if he would have walked up the, Mook and been like, yeah, I should have took your do-rag off.
No. Listen.
I think he should have grabbed the cape of it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, if he at least grabs it or whatever. By the time Mook is going, hey, ARP jumps in, everybody goes, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, he didn't have to do it, but I was like, damn, if Verb did this, there's no turning back.
If Verb had pinched the cape of
something,
of Mook's do-rag while throwing the other one in the air, that would have. I mean, it landed really good, but that would have made it land probably twice as more.
What? Yeah, that would have been a minute and a half rocker, man.
He said he's Mook's Killmonger.
Yeah, but also when he did that, he didn't rhyme, right?
Yeah. Repeat that part.
He rhymed it. He rhymed T'Challa with Killmonger. But sometimes it doesn't have to be a technical rhyme, It can be, you can say it, T'Challa, Killmonger. Like, if you, just conversational. It's a sounding way of rhyming. Yeah, you know what I mean?
So Verb did the smart thing, right? He said, you know what? I got to get the crowd on my side as early as possible, get interactive with them, do things with them, and put the pressure on Mook. And then his angles were effective. Like, not that we looked at Mook differently, but we all said what Verb is saying is facts. And you got to realize, Mook, when he battled Iron, what he made us do, he made us look at Iron differently in those 5 rounds. He made us look at Lux differently in those 5 rounds. He didn't really make Verb look different.
No, I mean, and we were also, while we're in the audience, waiting to see how long Verb is going to rap for. And Verb had battle rap stamina last night because he was going, man. He wanted all that energy, you know what I mean? Like,
do you guys feel
I was a little bit worried that the crowd might be a little bit funny with Verb. Like when the battle was announced and all that, and you hear, that where we're at in New York, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking like, oh, damn, like from what I'm hearing in the crowd, there's a lot of Mook fans in here, and it's coming from that side of the room. And then, you know what I mean? It was just crazy because Harlem was deep in there last night.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel like Verb changed his style of writing and he was more fast-paced and direct instead of, like, condensed how he normally is?
He just turned his energy up.
He didn't waste a bar. He didn't try to drag anything out.
Because a lot of times, right, Verb is good in the building, but he's always better on cam.
Right.
I feel like this time around you're gonna appreciate it more directly, and you're not gonna rewind so much to find some things with Verb. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he made it for you to catch it there.
Yeah, no, he wasn't trying to go over your head or anything like that. But what I loved was that the punchlines, they weren't too complicated, they weren't too simple, and they were directly aimed at Mook. And them shits were effective as hell. And it was easy to digest with the angle. Whereas Mook's doing a lot of heavy scheming, which is dope, which, we love to dissect and deconstruct and everything like that. But when you're getting hit with haymakers and you're getting hit with hooks, and on top of that, it's directly aimed at you, it's difficult to, A, in the building, win that round. And then it's difficult, B, to win a round that's enjoyable to watch also, because lately we've been getting a Verb that's been very chill. Like we said, the fingers spinning back and all that stuff.
Laid back and mellow.
Yeah, so we haven't seen this type of energetic Verb since way early on in his career, or since, Hitman when he came out with that fire and being direct. You know what you just made me realize? He ain't rap shit in the beginning of that Hitman battle.
Why you say that?
You dirty, disloyal, filthy, no good, blah, blah, blah. Like, that wasn't even a rhyme. He just threw out a bunch of words at Hitman.
When
when
he gets to that, when you get
his point,
when you get him to that level where he needs to have a conversation with you, he's really not even gonna make it rhyme. He's just gonna make it pierce your soul.
Talk to you,
and because how direct it is and personal it is, you appreciate it without it even rhyming.
Yeah. And then the fucking energy that he brought, bro. We're so used to seeing him laid back after all the battle miles on that car. He's just cruising now. You know what I'm saying? So to see him get a new engine put in there, man, a transmission switch, new tires and all that, it's like a brand spanking new whip that was out there, man.
I think I know when you hit the game tapes, I think the first round's actually closer than the second round when you hit the game tapes, believe it or not.
Word?
I think so. But the first round, for the sense that's probably a lot of rounds people saying it's clear, and I feel like you can say it's clear because we were around a bunch of Mook stands, and even they were like, "All right," they're like, "All right, Verb got that round."
Facts, man.
And I'm not criticizing Mook's fan base. I'm just saying, again, there's casual battle rap fans that like they came here for Mook, and that's fine. But they don't really understand the full technicalities of like battle rap, nor were they even going to give Averb a chance.
Right.
So for them to have the biased mindset coming into it already, and we're ready to very biased, and we're ready to put their biasness away because they heard good content and material, they landed. They're like, you know what? I got to give it up no matter how much I'm hating.
Facts, man. Facts.
But you know why? Because I mean, there was too many people around them cheering. You know, for certain things. So it's just like, you can't hate when it's like 10 people in a circle around you cheering for something.
Who was more memorable to you guys?
First round or overall?
First round. Well, we'll ask both questions. First round for now.
Verb.
Right?
I just remember him sticking out, man. Pause. But Verb was off the hook, man. He was crazy in that first round. I was shocked, low key, because I didn't think it was gonna. I knew Verb was gonna be good. But I didn't know he was going to come out like that.
He looked like young Verb.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know he was going to come out like that, yelling and shit. That shit was crazy, man.
Without spoiling too much, right? I'll just give this one line from Mook's thing. The scheme I was mentioning earlier, I said at the top of my head, I had it written down. They can't give you bail if you don't know what you're in for. Send you to the phone to Sprint. You can't walk it like you talk. That's what I send you for. 10-4, man. I forgot how it went, honestly. But, like, that part of it, like, there's just a lot of that Mook brought to it. There's just, like, a lot of good rhyming. It was layered. It connected. The punches at the end of it, I feel like it fell a little flat. Remember that peekaboo? Imagine your son in the hospital.
Playing peekaboo with you in the ICU.
Like, that's just something you just go, right? But because it's Mook, you'll love it more than what it is.
And you'll think about it a little bit deeper and go, oh, I get it. You know
so I think it's safe to say we're not like downplaying Mook's material, but we're aware of the environment, the elements around him that kind of implemented a little bit more and made it stronger than what it needed to be. But that's fine. It happens. That's okay. And Verb was prepared for that, and that's what made it special. Verb was prepared for that. And you got to admit, all of us thinking to this battle, Mook was going to set the tone. Verb couldn't follow. Guess what? After round one, Verb set the tempo and was in control of the match.
Yeah, everybody in the crowd was looking around like bewildered, like
whoa, Verb
just really take control of the battle from Murda Mook? Like,
I don't know.
Are you serious?
And I don't know about y'all, but like, when Mook had to go in that second round, I was thinking to myself, like, yo, this dude really got to turn up, man.
Yeah.
Like, if he don't turn up or deliver something more potent than that first one,
it's the first time
comes back.
It's the first time you got to say fight back to Mook.
Yeah, this was crazy. He had to fight back, B. Murda Mook had to fight back for the first time in 10 years,
What I was being hyperbolic, but prior to the battle, did we not expect at any moment for Mook to fight back?
Of course not. Like, we knew... Man,
I mean, it's not that I never put out of the realm of possibility. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be stupid and be like, oh, there's no way that Mook would have to fight back. I just did not expect the first round to be so clear. Well, at least to me in the building. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is the one time in the building recap for myself personally. You know what I mean?
Well, for a return battle, you know, especially at this magnitude, you probably are thinking like Mook's going to automatically win the first round just off the return factor. But it was more of a shock value because the opposite was proved, you know. My Verb.
So you figured because he had an unlimited round, he was obviously going to out-rap a Verb.
Right.
And because he is his return in his home, the first round he would set a bar that Verb couldn't beat.
Absolutely.
So that's why we were like, you know what? Is there any moment at the battle where Verb can even take control? Because the third round, you could wash it away. Like, we knew he was going to lose the third round off Verb when you heard unlimited round. Like, it just wasn't fair,
Facts.
right?
This is Mook in New York. You know what I mean? Like, so this is like the mind state of a lot of people going into it, you know, thinking like,
There's
like
just Mook anywhere, man.
So it
That
makes you
dude
wonder.
was going on forever.
So
but
it's not
Mook
that
in New York.
it's not that
You
we
know
didn't
what I
think
mean?
Verb couldn't be competitive, but it makes you say to yourself, like, at what point will Verb snatch back the momentum? Like, you just didn't know.
Right.
And since he was in control the first round, what does Mook have to do in the second round? Fight back.
Fight back
Mook,
and turn
what do you think
up.
of Mook's second round?
Yo, all right. So like I said, everything that's going on around us, it's like I didn't even tweet during this battle, first of all.
Yeah, me neither.
So I dead ass put my phone in. This is the first time in a battle that I consciously said, I'm not going to tweet. I'm going to give this battle my full focused attention.
Yeah, we tweet in between the rounds, like,
Yeah.
oh, this person won this round. This person like this. Crowd's loving this.
Or even like as they're rapping, you know, I'm getting a couple bars off or giving my opinions about whatever's going on.
Yeah, I try to always tweet in between the rounds.
Yeah.
Except, like, I'll catch everything. 'Cause somebody get a quote. I'll retweet the quote. Rap Reader get a quote. Battle Rap News will get a
Right,
quote.
right,
Somebody
right.
get the quote. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to go for the quote. I'll remember it.
Yeah.
I'll find it on my timeline.
Right.
But in between the matches, I like to tweet what happens in that quick little 15, 30 seconds before the next MC goes to remember what was the thought process before they spit.
Exactly. Yep.
Or whatever was most memorable to me, you know, during that round. That's what I was doing. I left my portable charger at home, so you know I was trying to save some juice and still, you know, give the Twitterverse some type of, you know, feedback to go on for live in the building. But just like Fran said, like that little 30-second cap in between is where I tried to think like, all right, what did I remember from this round the most, and what do I feel about it?
Man, I remember once Murda Mook started off. Well, first of all, he had a little technical difficulties with his chain, so he had to start a second round.
Why are rappers still battling with chains on, wearing lavalier mics? This is ridiculous. Have they not learned already? Has there not been enough data to show that this doesn't work?
Not only
Yeah,
that,
even when he took his chain off, I mean, he still had mic issues. He is sweating. That white tee was drenched.
well, the league's got to tell him, yo, if you're gonna be on the stage, you can't wear no chains. That's
At the least.
That's at the league. The league's got to do that because it's your footage forever. You're paying for it. You know what I mean? But I do remember this. It made me catch a glimpse of where he was going with it because I saw that he was going to start off an alcoholic scheme or whatever. So, with that being said, fixing his chain, whatever mic issues, they come back. I'm tuned in and ready for this alcoholic scheme. My man, to think about what he actually did with that, because he was like, Verb, you know, you stumble. You know what I mean?
He coming from stumbling.
Yeah, coming from stumbling. So it's just basically him stumbling out of a bar. He turned this into everything that basically had to do with the alcohol industry. You know what I'm saying? But it was kind of captivating to me because I love – this is what we talk about with Iron Solomon and Chilla Jones type cats and stuff like that. So to see Murda Mook, you know what I'm saying, doing that and doing that for as many bars as he was doing it for and like weaving a whole story around Verb – forecasting a Verb stumble or fumble, you know what I'm saying? It was like brilliant to me. And to me, he does those with a lot more energy than a Solomon or a Chilla Jones. And it's still Murda Mook, so I'm still kind of wrapped up into this, you know what I'm saying? Right. But I thought the AA, and he kept going, AA. So it's all Alcoholics Anonymous, you know, okay.
Yeah.
So I was like,
it was honestly more scheming than punching.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of scheming, but I just love that he schemed a story and didn't just, you know what I mean, make a list of things. So watching it, I was like, oh, snap, this is dope. This is technically one of the best type of schemes that I've seen from a cat. You know what I mean?
And
What'd you
drinker.
think about
I'm a drinker
Talk
real
about
quick,
it, brother.
you know what I mean, before France goes in, but I want to get this off. I'm a drinker.
Yeah.
So when I'm in a liquor store, like, I read certain things. Real talk, though. I'm a drinker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I'm in a liquor store, I read certain things. So he was just connecting with me on like, damn, like, all right, I know that because I drink this and this has this in it. You know, the way he just broke all of it down, it was just phenomenal, man.
You know what was crazy? Well, I thought something was a reach when he was like, all the whiskey business. I was like, oh, why is he reaching saying
It's
whiskey
hot
business?
in.
No. He was talking about the barrel.
Yeah.
Why waste around? That's whiskey business. And I was like, oh shit, the whiskey
business. They put the whiskey in the barrel.
And you got that big wheel around them. I was like, God damn, man. You know what I mean? So technically,
it was so intricate,
writing
bro.
wise, it was so intricate that I'm like, my lyrical miracle brain was going ham for that.
Thought it was
man.
intricate?
What you thought?
I think
thought it was dope.
I think this is the round where I nitpick.
Go for it, player. What'd you think about it?
I think Verb did counter writing really well, and it was a rebuttal Verb had in the battle as well. So that's really rare for Verb to be rebuttaling. But Verb in the first round, like you said with the podcast thing, you're not one of us. Who'd you have in your podcast? Not one of us. So with him saying Mook's not one of us, you're also saying Mook's out of tune with the culture. Mook had a lot of outdated bars in the second round.
He did.
It caught up to him.
We got to keep the same energy.
We have to.
I know you, V. You're tired of the Infinity War bars.
Oh, yeah.
He had a whole Infinity War scheme, so we can't be like, "Oh, that's just fire," when we're already tired of it, right?
I just don't. The only thing I get is
Surf had Dragon Ball Z bars.
The only thing I get is Thanos, B. So everything else he was talking about, I didn't get. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the Marvels and all that stuff.
I'm just saying.
But I did love Verb's Thanos bars. Ironically, though, you know what I'm saying? That one joint where he was like, we something different or whatever. If it's rocks in hands, it's me telling you, little brother, get on. If it's rocks in hands, you playing. It's Infinity Gemstones. I was like, that shit.
Yeah. See, that's good.
Fire.
And guess what?
That was fire.
And guess what? Mook literally did that.
No, but the way Verb was saying it.
No, but what I'm saying is Verb, like you just put it out. Verb said, if I talk about stones, I'm talking about this. If you talk about stones, you're talking about the Infinity Stones, right?
Hollow voice. Here's a little rebuttal. I'm a creeping.
And that's what Verb, and that's what Mook did. Mook literally referenced the Infinity Stones. He referenced it.
What was the bar?
I mean, there's so many different references. You know what I mean?
The Mook thing?
Yeah.
He had a scheme where he talked about the Marvel characters, and at the end he said, "You're disintegrate."
Disintegrate.
And in the movie, the characters disintegrate.
Mm-hmm.
So disintegrate. Again, one of those little.
No, that was fire. No, that part I definitely.
No, the line is dope because the little commas, little PG stepping breakdown. The line was dope. I fucked with it, but I'm saying the theme of the whole line where it led up to get there, it was still an Infinity War scheme. Thanks. So if we're saying we're tired of Infinity War bars, we have to keep the same energy.
I'm not. I mean, at the end of the day,
I'm not.
We're going to continue to.
It's either you are or you aren't. That's what I'm saying.
But
remember
what I always said. If it lands, it lands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if I like it, if it lands and it's
all
hot,
all I'm saying is, all right. So we're gonna keep note of this.
No, keep that. I always say if it lands, it lands.
If you like them in the past, you can like it now. If you're tired of them in the past, you got to be tired of it now.
I think it's how you apply the bars. For me personally,
right.
If I can see it coming a mile away and I don't watch those Marvel movies, you whack. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, how can you not see the mile? It was a scheme.
But that's like saying I'm tired of hearing sports schemes. Like if a person can continue to find a creative way to put it, that sounds different.
Here's the difference. Infinity War is an actual topic. Sports is a whole general consensus of things. So like you can take sports into a million
topics and bad rap. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, so I used a bad example. All right, I fucked up. But
see, this is the nitpick round. This is the nitpick round, by the way. So guys, no hate. Real quick, everybody, please don't kill us because there's some people like, oh, Verb won. You're on Mook won. Please don't. This is just the nitpick round where I feel like this is part in the building was the most debatable round. So you have to like figure out what you're gonna score and what you're not gonna score.
Facts.
But yeah, just like if you can continue to find creative ways to use a reference, that people can associate themselves with, and it doesn't sound like the way anybody else did it, then fuck it. You know what I mean? Use it.
Well, there's more outdated bars. That's not the only one. Literally last week, we just heard Hitman perform the tapping the phone, and Mook said, "I'm feeling myself like I lost my phone." Literally, this almost the same thing, right?
He didn't even perform it better than Hitman.
And then check this out.
Went nuts too. I was like, damn, y'all didn't watch last week.
Let me give y'all a super throwback, right? When Mook said, "You split the V in half to show who's greater than," right? X Factor, when he battled DNA, Summer Madness 1, he literally said, when you split X in half, it'll show that I'm greater than, but you're lesser than me. So, split X in half. So, the splitting a letter line, especially the X greater than, less than, that's been around already.
He didn't split it, though. He technically said,
he flipped it.
Flip to the side.
Oh, put a V to the side.
No, that's what see, if we're going to nitpick that, I wish, whenever the lyrics come out, this is going to be dope. Because he's saying, she whispered in his ear, whatever, and the goat heard her or whatever. She said, I'm greater in his ear, and the goat heard her. She pushed V to the side, you know what I'm saying, to show something that I'm greater. Basically saying, I'm going to take your chick from you, blah, 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 but in a Murda Mook expounded upon kind of way.
But
just saying I pushed V to the side changes it all from saying I split the V. You know what I mean?
But the
continues on with
the goat heard her. I heard her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just crazy, man. Like, Mook was in his bag.
But I'm saying is the greater and less than lines, we already heard those. We already heard the greater less than lines, right? Like, the whole...
It's also the risk that you take, too, when you are not being as as obviously direct, I will say.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
well,
That's the risk that you take.
It was
a lot
effective
of times.
from Verb to literally say you're not part of the culture, right? Or air quote, like you're not one of us. And then Mook kind of fall into the trap where he said lines that we've heard before, lines that was just previously said, lines that like can be referenced to something else, and even more importantly, Verb would predicted some of the lines that Mook was gonna say.
Yeah,
there's a counter rating. So Verb was really smart in this battle, honestly. What else about the second round?
We gonna talk about Verb second?
Let's kick it off, player.
I thought Verb's whole second round was he kept right back where he was at earlier.
That's what I was gonna say. He picked off right where he left off, man. Once he saw that, okay, I can crack this round again. He got turned up, started doing his shoulder bounce and all that. He did the bank head bounce, and he came back once again, rapid fire, man.
He got under Mook's skin in the second round. Because Mook was talking during this round, which I don't like all that. Anybody talking to somebody's round. And then Verb was smart. He stopped. He said, I'm not going to let him stop me. He goes, looks to the crowd. He goes, look at him emotional. And then he flipped it on him.
And Loaded Lux was right there on stage, too, so it hit even a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying?
And the crowd loved it. And then at that moment, it was almost like, can Verb do the exact same thing he did in the round one and then close the gates to this?
And Verb was smart, too. He had to go back poking Mook, and he had to do it.
But, I mean, I think that's why Mook was talking during his round, because he's like, bro. And that's why I'm saying, like, Mook handled himself professionally up there. I don't think
You think Mook handled himself professionally up there?
I'm saying as far as, like, not necessarily professionally. All right, let me say this.
I was going to say, bruh.
When it got super intense, he kind of, like, did a good job of checking his folks. But all he was telling Verb between the rounds is, like, listen, all right, I'm letting you touch me like this. Like, Los had to come over and tell Verb, like, Verb, chill out, because you're touching him and stuff like that. You're acting like that, but then when you get up
Mook
on
initiated
him,
it.
Mook did initiate
everything,
but
on a crazier level.
That's why Verb was, saying whatever he was saying, about like stop touching me, because like Mook was like super aggressive.
He was ODing on him.
You know what I mean? But this is the thing. Verb winds up looking a certain way on camera against Harlem Cats. Aside from Sway, you understand what I'm saying? There's always something on stage when Verb battles a Harlem dude. So he's not going to let this, come out looking like, all right, you keep getting punked by Harlem. No, like, and you're the biggest guy from Harlem, and I don't care about that. You're not going to punk me. Like, we're going to rap and all that, but you're not going to punk me. So Verb had to come, and Verb was by himself. They had like one dude with him.
Verb's a warrior.
Yeah, I got to give Verb this, man, for all of that was going on. And mind you, when this is going on, like the battle's getting broken up for a good amount of time here and there. You know what I mean?
10 minutes.
Verb didn't lose track. He didn't lose where he was at. He didn't sputter. He didn't mutter. He was on point. He knew those lyrics front and back them first two rounds. Like, he wasn't losing track. And to think with all those games, all those super vet GOAT games and getting under your skin and Michael Jordan type, I'm going to really try to annoy you and fuck up any type of rhythm that you've got going on type moves. Verb stuck to the game plan, B, and just kept shooting shot after shot that was landing, punch after punch, haymaker after haymaker. I was standing there going like, yo, if Verb continues this throughout the entire second round, this is about to get crazy.
You know what else, too? You got to credit to Verb. Verb had to be nearly flawless. I mean, we could admit it. Mook got away with some lines. You could smell a body cologne on me.
Yo, I didn't appreciate that one.
Cologne. Mook had some bow bars. Mook had a wild lie line. We heard the lie schemes already. And there's a lot of things in Mook's second round.
Did he say something about twerk? He was like,
he mentioned twerk.
Was that the second round?
That wasn't a bad line. Yeah.
Shaking his ass out.
He's supposed to shake his ass up. I think the thing I remember the most about Mook, not so much the lines, but the patterning and of his rhyming and the flow. Because this when he did the verb, nigga, I heard, nigga, the word.
That's what.
So you remember. So Mook almost gave you the feel of like you're gonna remember his rhyming more than some of the quotables.
Right.
Do you think he? You want to know something that I really did notice about this round in particular? Because I watched this round several times back and forth. Like I said, I really dug Mook's material. Like, I thought the writing was really dope. And Verb's writing was dope, too. However, Verb's cadence and the way he plays with the flows, it keeps you excited. It's like being on a little ride. You know what I'm saying? And the way he plays with the melody in his bars, it was just perfectly suited. So that way you're kind of already on this rhythm, and it's not so much of the bar count. It's not like a 4-bar setup, but that rhythm just allows you when that punch land or that haymaker land to just be right in step and just keep it moving. Whereas I felt like Mook's cadence, it can feel like it's getting dragged out. You know what I'm saying? Like, as good as your writing is, that exactly what you pointed out. You got excited when he switched up the pace and he started doing that.
You can see when you can see when he switches it up.
Yeah, and I just felt like, wow.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good, but I just felt like, wow, from cadence alone and technical rapping terms right now, this guy's captivating me, and his material is good. So what can I say?
In the combination,
you know what I'm saying?
Him speaking to his opponent, and then I was right over there, like standing in the crowd by Avocado's table,
or
whatever. So but the thing he was doing was like switching back and forth between talking to Mook and then talking to us, talking to Mook and then talking to us. Like, it was crazy. You know, the way he jumped in and out of it, more so like telling us, y'all look at him like this. But he's not that. You know what I mean? And just the way he kept bouncing out in between it and still up on Mook and aggressive and everything.
When Verb said I don't something about death, I sixth sense him.
Yo.
The Prego line.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Hold on real quick.
He got gory with it.
Hold up. Let me nitpick Verb too. Keep the same energy.
Go for it.
Verb also had a Ryu Ken line, even though it was a little bit different than what we normally hear. You know, it's OBC. It's outdated. And I'm not gonna lie. There's a bar that if you say it's hot on one end, you got to give it both to them.
Which one? Or
if you say it's whack, you got to give it to both of them. It's whack.
Which one?
All right. So Mook said, "You from New York? That's why nobody from the Apple Jack line." Oh, he said something about Siri. Like, listen to your phone. Siri,
cereal. No,
Siri, like cereal.
No, like cereal. Yeah.
Can tell you from the Apple Jack. It's a breakfast
bar.
bar.
No. That even the Apple ain't jacking you. Something like that.
Open your phone. Siri will tell you the Apple Jack.
Yeah.
So that's how it went.
The cereal tell.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you credit that, you have to credit Verb's Lego My Ego rounds in the morning line.
I like that one, though. I liked it.
They're both breakfast bars.
Something Lego My Ego. Then the way he did the Prego.
Come on, No. I like Verb's line.
It went with the flow.
No, I'll tell you this.
Right.
You know what? Later for that. We're going to stick on these two cats. I don't mind breakfast bars. If it lands, it lands.
I like
you know what I'm saying?
I like that. What I'm just saying is,
we
can't like one and not like the other.
I'm not dissing either one of them.
Not you guys.
No, people. My bad. Oh, yeah.
Because this is for the audience that listens to us.
Copy, man. Sorry.
Right? And guys, again, I'm the only one to watch the game tapes. Everybody's fresh off the first reaction.
I only caught the second round back and forth a few times.
And I want to give a big shout out to Tim Nielsen, because he hit me up last night. He said, which battle you want me to transcribe first? I said, I said, you might have to do you might have to do Verb and Mook first. He goes, you know what? I know I'm going to do that one first. Give me till Monday or Tuesday. Hopefully, it's a 90-minute battle. It's the longest battle in battle rap history.
Yeah, shout out to Tim, man, because Tim, you know, he puts a lot of work in getting these timestamps and everything.
I'm gonna let Battle Rap Stats do his thing. Take your time, Tim. Take your time. The breakdown is another episode, but right now this is the live reaction with the replay a little bit.
The deconstruction is coming, man. The deconstruction is coming.
But so me when I hit the game takes back, I'm just thinking like, damn, I can't wait for the lyrics. But there's a lot of things I realized that the energy around me probably just took away or affected more of.
Like what?
For example, Verb had a line, and somebody next to me caught it as well as me. He was like, "Don't be sour, though. You got your crybabies, right?"
Yeah.
And he went on with the candy lines after that.
Yeah.
And then somebody hit me because he know I caught it. I'm like, "Oh, that shit was fire. Nobody caught that shit." And then when Verb said, "You know, you're not from the Wolves. You're not Wiggin."
Yeah.
Sorry to get rid of you, son. I'm Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
Guess what? That was the multiple lines after that were NBA players. So I'm like, damn, that's an NBA scheme that nobody's even catching on that he's referencing the ball players.
Fam,
I know you guys. I'm saying.
I'm sorry, man. I'm getting caught up, bro.
I gotta see these game tapes.
And this is what I'm saying. And all of that we're talking about is with the flow. Also,
by the way, he opened it up with "Put One in Your Head," the unicorn. I know that was a little cheesy.
That was a little,
but unicorns Porzingis.
Yeah. What number does Porzingis
He's saying you the one, so you know what I'm saying, to put.
Damn, I'm not a Knicks fan, so I forgot.
Porzingis, what does he wear? 5 or something like that?
I'm gonna look it up right now, because if he wears one, that's crazy.
Y'all still supposed to know y'all from New York.
I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm a Lakers fan. So
I had on my Lakers colors yesterday.
Nah, he wears.
I ain't a Lakers
6.
fan.
He wears 6. We good. We good. We good. So. Listen, let me ask you guys this question, right? When there's a fan favorite going into a battle, and it's weird, right? In the battle, you're always kind of like 1-1 into the third. But when there's this odd shift of like, yo, is it really 2-0? Do you think mentally you don't allow yourself to think that it's 2-0?
No, you know what?
I don't know. You know what? I seen a lot of 1-1, but then there were also like a couple people around me, that were like saying the same thing. Like, it might be 2-0. I don't know.
I thought the same thing. I think Verb kind of almost ruined it for himself with that pause bar.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
just
he said something like, he
me.
said, I see your girl. And then he said the pause bar. You know what I'm saying?
He
so
said,
I understood.
He said, I see your girl, my dick car loading rifles. And then everybody,
extended rifles.
Extended rifles.
Like that, yeah.
Extended rifles. And then everybody was like,
But he said, I see your girl
when,
right before it. So
when he said, I was like, damn, he almost fucked it up with that because now the crowd's going to be like, hey, yo.
Here's a thing.
Right.
If you're a battle rapper, do not use the word my immediately followed by dick. Dick bars do not land in New York, all right? It doesn't land. You're not going to get a good reaction. You're going to get a bunch of, hey, yo, pause, yo, beat. Don't do them, man. So, and I was glad that at least, but you know what I noticed, though? Once that happened, Verb just kept going. He didn't
left
say
it off.
He left it. He
left it off.
Yeah.
He kept on going. He didn't say, "Oh, they not messing with me," or "Hey, stop! Why y'all booing? Hey, what y'all doing?" He just kept going to the next line. This is how focused Verb was, but that says a lot, B.
So let me throw the checkmate at you guys now.
Oof.
The first round's not clear.
You said not
me,
clear.
It's not. I mean, for like
to me, the first round was clear.
Okay, so I mean, I agree, but I'm saying even if somebody wants to say Mook won, it's not clear. Second round's not clear neither.
Right.
I edge Verb.
The third round would be clear, but there's a 15-minute gap between the round. So
right.
So when you think about it, Mook only won a round for just spitting 3 times longer than his opponent in the last round.
Do you have to really deconstruct the material and see like the meat and potatoes of what he did? And
round 2 is probably the round you really got to break down. When I watched it, I felt like round 1 was closer to round 2, but in the building, I felt round 2 was closer to round 1.
Right. But there going to be some people who give Mook the second because of, the different rhyme patterns and the different ways of rapping that he was doing. Like Verb won the second to me.
Yeah, Verb won the second to me as well.
But I can see
it's very
why
debatable.
Somebody will argue for Mook.
It's extremely close.
See, to me, I think my lyricist brain, because I don't know, different people listen to hip hop differently. Some people just go for the beats first or whatever. Some people go for the flow first. But I was always taught from my old heads, go for the lyrics first.
Right.
So I'm so busy.
That's crazy you said that because in battle rap, there's too many things to think about.
But I can't explain it.
Right.
Most of the time, you know me. I'm chilling. I'm paying attention, but I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This one, I was in tunnel vision, man. Like, I was just like, yo, I'm trying to catch any and everything and not be – I'm trying to be unbothered right here.
Can't believe
you
we
feel
were there
me?
for an hour and a half watching that whole thing.
And it didn't feel like that, bro.
It didn't.
It didn't even feel like that. That's how magical that whole battle was, man. That was a moment, B.
Every single moment that was going on in the battle. Every push, every shove, every finger point, every lyric, every bar, every letter. You know what I mean? It was gripping. Like, the battle was as long as, like, some motion pictures are. You know what I'm saying?
That was a movie, basically.
And
man.
we did not get tired of it. And I don't think you'll get tired of it.
All of Mook's last 3 battles have been an hour plus. It's crazy.
But you know what? Kudos to Verb for making this something that you can watch because he's also delivering. What would he been saying? Mook's battle's been boring. His opponents ain't show up when they're battling him. We don't know what happened to their superpowers. Verb's superpowers got magnified last night. You know what I'm saying?
And
so
one thing we didn't
throw
touch
that
on,
out of the window.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't touch on, just like you said, his superpowers got magnified last night.
Yeah.
Again, he did another 5-minute round. As much as we're on Verb for how he sticks
they
to the
booked it
time limit,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And he cuts his round short and stuff like that, and that like messes him up in a lot of battles where he's actually rapping, but he cuts his time short. Verb was rocking, bro.
Yeah, Verb definitely has the right to give everyone his ass to kiss because everyone's like, man, he can't even give you 3 minutes. How you expect him to give you 5 minutes? You know what I'm saying?
I don't even think he's gonna be cocky about it. He sounds humbled about it.
I mean, I had a brief conversation with Verb at the press conference out front of the hotel on Friday. And I mean, just a couple words. You know what I mean? After he had walked out and all that stuff.
Okay.
And I just knew from there, like, nothing Mook is going to say or nothing that's going on right now is phasing him. He's in his own world. He got a ton of vision.
You
he
ain't
knows
care
what
to
he's
share
doing.
that with us that night, brother?
Let me quote.
No, because
I
I had
messing with
Verb
you.
winning. I wanted Verb to win. You know what I'm saying? So I spoke to him from a fan perspective. I'm not
You
going
ain't
to
want
tell
me
you.
to change my mind, brother?
Let me quote Verb. He tweeted out, "Look, y'all, all I did was spar with Mook, tune him up for Surfing Hollow. He's still the king, and that's the point of sparring, to tighten him up. He'll be back. He won't run like Beloved. I can't wait to see him again." And then he mentioned how honored and accomplished he felt that he couldn't speak at the moment. He said, "Yo, I might cry thinking about all the hate I've gotten in my career."
Wow.
Because you got to think, this is, in one more year, Verb's going to have a full 10 years in the game, right?
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
And to think from, like, Mook being the reason why he even got the biggest exposure
shot, yeah.
to clearly a decade later finally standing in front of him, not dying clearly, and probably winning on the internet,
Yeah.
that's got to be overwhelmingly, like, excited. Like, that's it. Like, you have to put Verb up there somewhere in a line of greatness. Like, now you really can no longer deny it. Yeah, he has his losses, his chokes, his bad battles, his bad performances, but when it counted and it mattered, he
showed up.
delivered.
He showed up.
He didn't die. He was on the road. Only clear round he lost
in
was
New
York. Only clear round he lost was a 15-minute gap.
It wasn't designed for him.
He
to
opened
win.
his legacy in New York
Mm-hmm.
and damn near closed it in New York.
I mean, he referenced, well, he didn't say it, but pretty much what he's saying, you know, with that tweet is, he didn't say it in the battle, but he's saying it with this tweet. You know, he's referencing something that he said to Twerk, which is, my opponents never see a loss again because I removed their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So this is what he's saying in that tweet. Like, I tuned him up. You know what I'm saying? Now, these are the fights that he's supposed to have.
Man,
I think Verb wins the war.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm gonna go on record and actually say, because everyone's been like, "Yo, who do you have as the winner? Who do you have as the winner?" Now,
Can't call it right away. Everybody, first
Can't
you
call
can't
it
call
right
it right
away.
away.
I want to see what Avocado was going to do
so-
with the chop ups of this battle and how he's going to edit it.
when do we want to drop our official who we had winning?
I mean, right now we're talking about how we felt who
Right.
won,
Okay.
right?
All right.
But I'm saying, like,
Wait till
as
the
a
official
full,
RBE
like,
release,
this
maybe.
person's official, because
Yeah.
it's close still at the end of the day. Even though we, like, right now we're edging, me and Money edging Verb,
But
you probably edging Mook.
No,
but
no,
we
no,
all,
no. Actually, this is why I'm talking.
Okay.
All right, because
the decision changed?
yeah, listen, leaving the building, like I said, going back to the point, I'm a lyricist brainiac at first.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there listening to all of Mook's crazy tied-in bars in the second, right? But then my eyeball test is saying Verb is wilding, and he's landing, and he's got flows, and he's focused, and he's not getting thrown off. With all of those things put into it, I had to, after watching the second round over and over again, ladies and gentlemen, from my in the building pick to this pick here, I must say, if I had a child and I wanted them to judge a battle, if they came to me and said, "Dad, I have a Verb winning," I would say, as of this, me watching this one time and going back and watching the second, I'm going with a Verb winning this battle.
I agree.
I'm going with a Verb, man. And I'm not saying Mook was.
And I think even if you have
I'm not
Verb,
sliding Mook.
I think
Mook
even
was
if you have
dope.
Verb losing, you have to acknowledge what Verb did in this match.
You
And
have. He wins. He wins the war also.
He's also
You know
killing
what I
him on
mean?
the polls, which I don't agree with. He's overly killing him on the polls.
Not
but
also. He may have won the war, and
Right.
he may have also won the battle.
That's because what did
You feel
everybody
me?
say? If it's debatable that Verb wins, that's just what everybody was
But,
saying
but
prior.
even if you
but
break
it's
it down and get to all the
technicalities
technicalities,
of
he
it,
still
yeah, he
might
still-
win
yeah.
the battle also. Like, Verb did a lot in this battle, B. Like, he had his back was up against the wall in this battle, and he did not disappoint. Verb is a warrior, a trooper, you know what I mean? Obviously, there's going to be one final battle that comes out with all the edits and however that looks that will live on in immortality. But as of right now, I'm not ashamed to say that I can change my in the building pick from Murda Mook to saying that I have a Verb edging this battle, edging the second round for me. You know what I mean?
and that was drastic. Like I'm mind blown. Like that took the wind out of me.
I mean,
like,
sorry,
but
bro.
nah, that's all good. I'm also the polls. Look, two things I'm not gonna go by. The crowd, because they gave a 3-0 chant, which is fucking
That
weird.
was fucking
Yeah,
good.
That
I
was
didn't
weird.
Like Verb
That was
going
a-
3-0.
that was a troll. That was a troll. That was a
Verb doing
troll.
all that was too much too, man.
But I'm not gonna. The polls. This is the one poll. I'm as we're not to like, keep the same energy because I like the polls. They tell a little narrative for things. But I just can't take this poll too serious. It has 6,000 plus votes, and every other battle has like less than 1,200. So I'm like, wait, why? There's too much of a gap between it.
A lot
of
Mook haters popping out, man.
There's too much of a gap between it. So and then I'm sure Mook got all Verb had to do was make it competitive for Mook to lose, obviously. Because remember Hollow and Lux, that was Lux's first competitive bout. So obviously the building had Hollow winning. Over time, you had Mook winning. I do think over time. Over time, they had Lux winning.
Although I had Lux winning that night also.
Over time, I think people will definitely enjoy Mook's material more because I just felt Verb was more direct.
Yeah.
But just from everything Verb had to overcome and do, I think Verb got it.
Yeah. From a purely battling aspect.
But I'm ready to see Mook again.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
and
I can't take nothing away from Mook. You know what I mean?
Can't take nothing away from nobody.
I got what I wanted to see from
Right.
Mook. Like, I can't say, like, oh, he was terrible in this round or this scheme, anything like that was terrible. Like, I was fascinated standing there by the stage and just watching him go.
Isn't
to work.
Mook's best battles his debatable ones at the end of the day? His
Those
first
are
four battles are what we live by because his last three we don't like because they're straight bodies.
Right.
So Mook has to also take it like, you know what?
I got to make this a little bit closer. I got to make this a little bit closer, but if it is closer, it's better for me also.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if Mook had clean 30 Verb, we would be here
We'd be doing the same thing over again.
We'll be bashing Verb.
We'd be doing the same
overly praising. There'd be the gap.
Or hating Mook saying, oh, he beat him, but it wasn't
good.
It wasn't good.
I might not even be here right now. I might be, like,
Back
balled up in a corner somewhere in Harlem by a sewer or something crying.
So, we're reaching hour 2, right? So we're ready to go on to the rest of the card because this battle alone was so great. We might have to even just cut this and move on to make it a part 2 of things. But listen, before I leave out of things, shit, I forgot I lost my track of thought there. Something about Mook and Verb. Oh, listen. If Mook said it, he said he's still down at battle if they book him now because he's actively in the zone, right? The next opponent for Mook,
he's going to get it.
I fear you.
He's going to get it.
Because for the 4-year gap that Mook had, he didn't miss a lot of technicality steps. Like, he was able to deliver. And hold on. Let's give Mook a round of applause for having a 22-minute round with no stumbles and fumbles.
Flawless.
So there's now
He barely even sipped the water.
So he didn't sip the water.
Hold on, Verb ain't sipped that much water either. Did y'all notice that? Verb ain't even touched his water that much
Listen,
either.
I think at this point,
crazy.
we've given choking a pass. Not a pass, but like, we've had battles where like people choke and
Yeah,
whatever.
there's
We
no
debated.
excuse.
And
And
I think
watching that,
after watching that,
and he's coming back, after being off for 4 years. Some of y'all dudes who be out here and be battling every month and taking doggone battles in, again, Nutbush, Tennessee, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, and all kinds of other battle leagues. Y'all have no excuse. Mook just came back off of 4 years of not
Mook
being
spent
active.
2 1/3 battles in 1 round.
Mook gave us enough material for everything he was gone for.
2 1/3 battles in 1 round.
That
with
was like
no
3
slips,
grind time battles.
no chokes.
Mook
nothing.
gave us a solid 2.5 battle worth of material there. Crazy. For all those years it's gone. And by the way, Mook's 3rd round was longer than Iron Solomon and Big K.
Thanks. That's
you want to segue right into that?
Yeah, well, let's go back to the beginning of the card. So Mook and Verb, we're gonna cut it here. We're making a part 1 and part 2.
Matter of fact, let's give a round of applause.